So very good evening to and welcome to this session on aptitude, the problem solving skill sets. So, so we are at placement season. So we have started this initiative for exclusively for the current ones, so who are looking forward to their placements in the next semester. So we thought it will be an apt time to start with a series of training sessions for them, introducing them to various problem solving techniques or the concepts. So this is our first session. So we'll wait for some time so that others can join us, and we'll quickly start with the agenda for the day and then move on to the topics that we have in focus. An apt time to start with the series. Right. So I think we have 2-3 topics to cover for the day. So maybe let others can join us. So we'll quickly start with the agenda for the day. So that is so you can see. So this is what we are going to see today. So we'll start with why aptitude test or the problem solving skill sets is very important for the first job. So whenever you are in campus or you are trying for any companies, whether within the corporate side or public sector, why tests are used. So we'll see that, and then so we'll quickly see about why we have started this webinar series. And then we'll move on to the topics for the day, that is averages, percentages, profit loss discount. So, and then we have a surprise element. So that is, we have our premium course, Prepare with Placement Season for 2019 batch students. So we'll share a coupon code which will entitle you for some discounts when you use that and purchase our premium packages. And then we'll end up with the placement season. We feel like the free resources itself is exhaustive enough for you to prepare and crack your campus placement tests, right? So let's quickly move on to why aptitude tests or the problem solving skill sets. So this is actually the top skill sets that are required in any kind of any job market. So it's like 2015 survey is also there, and 2020 what would be the expectation. So you can see in both these sides, the complex problem solving is the number one skill set that any that matter they expect. So how this problem solving can be improved by solving problems. So how it can be tested. So there are many ways are there. So aptitude test is one such way which has been followed for many years now. So that's the reason why most of the companies and even some of the competitive exams have aptitude test in the selection process. So this is the main reason why almost all the companies have the aptitude test. Now, if you look at the recruitment pattern or the scenario in the last, the importance for skill sets has gone up, but still problem solving remains the core. Even if they ask you to code something, they give you a problem statement. First thing, you have to identify a solution for the problem statement. Then you can use any of the languages that you know and code. So whatever it is, the selection process, whether they test your technical skill sets, coding skill sets, or anything, problem solving remains the base. And how you can improve the problem solving skill set ability. So you'll have to train your brain to, solve problems. So one such way is solving a lot of computation problems, and train your brain to think like a solution provider. Right? Now, quickly about this online training. So what is that in store in these online training sessions? So what you can expect. So there is going to be series of multiple short, similar to today Facebook live training sessions. The session duration will vary from 30 to 60 minutes, wherein we'll be covering almost all the concepts related to problem solving, quantitative techniques, and some of the reasoning abilities. Now, these or the frequency will be like, or sometimes it will be twice, depending on what topics that we wanted to cover in that particular week. And this particular live training will go hand in hand with the topic wise tests that we offer in our premium package, that is Prepare with Placement Season. So whatever the topics that we give for practice tests in our Prepare with Placement Season, so these webinars will go parallelly, hand in hand. So that means like you can see the webinar and then you can take the practice test to see how much you were able to. And all the recording of these training sessions and the videos will be available in our preparatory portal, that is prep.placementseason.com, and it can also be accessed from our test taking portal, that is app.placementseason.com. So it will be listed inside our test taking application, and also it will be there in our website for anyone to view. Right. So let's quickly move on to the topics for the day. There are 3 topics that we have taken today. I don't know how much we'll be able to complete it. We actually thought 3 itself will be more than the time. Due to time constraint, we thought we'll restrict ourselves with 3 topics. So we'll start with averages, and then we'll move on to percentages, and then a related topic, profit, loss, and discount. Okay. Now, simple interest, compound interest, which we wanted to do it today, we will be taking that particular topic in the next session. Right. Now, before we start with our the actual topic, I wanted to tell that there will be many people who will be watching this video whose level of understanding will vary. So what we have done is like we do justification for everyone who is watching this video. So we'll be covering some of the basics, we'll be solving some basic problems as well, and we'll be increasing the difficulty levels of the problems. We'll try to cover a wide variety so that we are able to address all types of students, right? So to quickly begin, average, so you all might be knowing, it's like the sum of all terms by the number of terms. So I'm not going to spend much time in explaining you what is an average, mean, and all other stuffs. There are n number of articles and other things are available. Now, I'll quickly tell you different kind of problem solving, or the way that you can approach these averages questions, right? So one such method that I teach is like assume average method. So you just assume some number as an average and then see how you can arrive at the solutions, right? Now, a simple question to start with, find the average of say these 5 numbers. So in this particular case, so a normal method will be to find the sum of these five numbers and then move on, divided by the total number of terms that you have, so that you can get the average. Right. Okay. So in this particular case, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to use a slightly a different approach. So I'll assume that this number 56 is my average, right? Now I'll just check whether all other numbers, how that is related to this particular number 56. Like say 42, so how it is related to 56, it's like 14 away from it. Okay, so it is 14 less or more, it is 14 less. Okay, and this 49, it is like 7 away from it, so it is on the negative side, so minus 7. So 56, that's what the number that I have assumed. So there is no difference between that. And this particular number is positive side 7 away from the average that I have assumed. And 68 is like 12 away from the average that I have assumed. So just to make it simple, I have taken numbers which are close enough. Okay, but this approach is applicable for any numbers. Okay, so now if I take these differences alone, so I get -2. Now this is the difference between the average that I have assumed and the overall other terms that is there with me. So now what can be my new average? So definitely 56 is not the average, because if 56 has to be the average, then this particular summation, it has to be 0. So definitely 56 is not the average. Then what is the average? So all that I need to do is divide this difference that I have got -2 by 5. So I have 0.4. So let's subtract 56.4. So you'll get 55 points as your average. So I've just taken this small example to make you understand that a different way to solve averages. Okay, so this is called as an assumed average method, so which is pretty handy, and it is useful to solve some of the averages related questions. Okay, you need not spend your time in finding the summation of all the numbers. Suppose if the numbers are bigger numbers, then you might spend some more time. So in order to solve it quickly, you can try this method. Okay, so let's move on to the question. So in this particular question, so we are going to see a kind of application of average, that is change in the average. So we have the average weight of 25 students in class 8 of a school is 42 kg, and 2 new students, each of whom weighing 52 and 68 respectively, were admitted in the class. Find the new average weight. So again, another pretty simple basic question. So in a normal method, if you have to solve it, so all that you will do is you'll just take the summation. So that is, you have 25 students, okay, and whose weight is 42, and 2 new students are added, so 52 and 68, and then you will divide it by the total number of students, that is 27, the new number of students. Okay, a slightly different approach that you can do for this question is like, if 2 new students who have added whose weight is also 42, then there won't be any increase in the average, so your average will remain 42. Okay, but in this case their weights are not 42. One person is weighing 52 and the other person is weighing 68. So the first person, he's bringing 10 kg extra, and the second person extra than the old average, and the second person, he is bringing some 26 kg extra. So that means overall both these persons are bringing in 36 kg extra. Now this 36 kg, obviously it has to be divided by all the 27 people out there, so that you can get the new average. So that is like 1.33. So your new average will increase by 1.33, because both the new people are bringing in additional weight. So this additional weight has to be spread across 27 people. So total it is 1.33 spread across 27 people. So the old average is 42. So your new average will be 43.33. So by this way, one thing that you are doing is like, you are avoiding some complex calculations. Okay, and you can get your answers quickly. Now this is another pretty easy and simple question that I have taken just for an understanding purpose. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, right. So again, we'll see increase or decrease in average. So I've got 2 questions to explain that, right? So the average marks of 7 students are 42%. And when a student joined this group, then the averages increased to 48, right? So find the marks of the student who join, right? So 7 students are already there and their average marks is 42%. One new student has joined. If his mark is also 42%, then there won't be any increase. Sorry. Yeah. So there won't be any increase in the average. So the eighth person, if his score is also 42, then there won't be any increase in the average, right? But now they have given that the average is increased to 48. Okay, so that means how much is increased? There is an increase of 6% marks. Now this 6% mark is increased for, here there were 7 plus this. So for all these 8 people, this 6 marks addition has happened so that the average, new average has become 48. So that means for 8 people, 6 marks addition. So that means 48 marks addition has happened. So that means the 8th person's score is 90. Okay, so pretty simple and straightforward, right? So you can also use this or solve this question in your traditional way, so that's pretty much possible. Okay, but it's not required this particular question approach, right? So let's move on to the next question. So an investor in share market shares makes a profit of 920 in his fifth investment. Okay, so in his fifth investment, he is making 920 profit, thereby increasing his average profit of first 4 investment by 14. So his average profit over the first 4 investment is. I think we have find the old. So 14 is what is the increase in the new average. Okay, now this increase in the average is happening for how many investments? It is happening across the 5 investments. So that means 14 increase is happening across 5 investments that he has made. So that means total there is an increase of 70. Now the 70 increase is happening because he made 920 profit in the fifth investment. Okay, means 920, I should be able to get the average profit over the first 4 investments. So that is 920 minus 70. So I should get 850, and this must be the average profit for his first 4 investments. Okay, so this again pretty simple and easy. See here, the average profit is increasing by 14. So that means the old average is less and the new average is high. How much high? 14 high. For how many people or how many investments? 5 investments. So 14 into 5 total 70 increase in the average profit. So that means that 70 has to be reduced from 920 so that we get the average profit for his first 4 investments alone, right? So let's move on to another types of average questions, that is average of groups. Now the first question here in average of groups, that's again pretty simple and straightforward question. So 30 pens, 75 pencils. So both put in different groups were purchased 510. If the average price of the pencil was rupees 2, find the average price of the pen. So there are 30 pens are there, okay, and there are 75 pencils were there. Okay, so price of a pencil is rupees 2. So that means 75 into 2. So you will have one group. So that is 150, and then balance you have 510. So 510 minus 150, and you just divide it by 30. You get the average price for the pen. So first question is pretty simple and straightforward. So you just have to take pens. So that is like 30 and 75 pencils in the second group. and the pencil price is 2 rupees, so it is like into 2, so you get 150. So, and then from this you can easily get the average price for the pen. So I'm not going to spend much time on this particular question. It's pretty easy. Now the next one, is quite interesting. Now the average of 11 results is 50. Now please listen, the average of, so there are total 11 results. So 11 results is 50. Now if the average of first 6 results 49 and the last 6 results is 52. Okay, so I'll go a little slow on this question because this is pretty interesting. You can solve this question in multiple ways, but I want you to understand the method that is pretty easy and straightforward to solve this particular question, right? So 11 results is 50 and the average of first 6 results is 49 and that of the last 6 results is 52. So I can understand from this question that the first 6 is 42, last 6 is 52. That means the sixth, which is common for the first 6 and the last 6, is definitely playing some role in the increase and decrease of the average. Okay, right. Now comparing with the 11 results combined, there is 50 as an average. So I'm assuming that the 50 is the average that I required. Now when I take the first 6 results alone, it is giving me only 49. To make this 50, okay, to make this 50, how much I should add one each for all the 6 results. So that means for all the 6 results, I should add one each so that I get 6. So that means total I should add 6 extra so that I get this 49 average. I can make it as 50, right? Now let's take the last 6 results. So in each result, I have 2 extra. That means I have to reduce 2. Okay, so I have to reduce 2 so that I can make this average as 50. Okay, so I have to reduce 2 so that I can make this average as 50. For how many numbers? Again, for 6 numbers. So I can also tell this in other way, that here I have 2 extra and here I have 1 less. Okay, so here I have 2 extra and here I have 1 less. So here I have 6 less and here I have 12 extra. So if I find the summation or the difference between these two, so I get 6, which is extra. Now 50 is the average. That means each number or each result that should have 50. Now among these two, I have 6 extra. Now obvious bringing the 6 extra, that is the 6th result is bringing the 6 extra. So the average is 50. So 50 plus this extra, so I get 56. This is my 6th result. Okay. So this question can be solved using your traditional method, like say 11 into 50 is equal to, this is simply, you can take an analogy of a Venn diagram kind of a concept. Okay, like say you have the first 6 results and the last 6 results, first 6 results, last 6 results, and this intersection part is your 6th result. Okay, so you can very well use the relation, n of a union b is equal to n of a plus n of b minus n of a intersection b. So you can even use that relation to solve this particular question related to averages. But anyway, that's not required, okay, because you can straight away solve it just by using a simple logic and understanding of the averages. Okay, right. So I think this is a pretty interesting, good question that we have taken for today, right? So with this, we'll move to the next question, right? So this is the next type of question in averages. So that is finding the average speed. Okay. So in order to find the average speed, you have to remember that average speed is nothing but total distance traveled divided by total time taken. So do not just take the speed and find the average like how we are doing other numericals. Okay, so here it is completely different, right? So here it is, the average speed is nothing but you will have to find the total distance traveled upon total time taken, right? So here in this case, we have hexagonal path. So that means obviously 6 sides will be there. Each side is of 20 meters. So the total distance to be traveled is 120 meters, right? In such a way that the first 20 meters, he goes at a speed of 20 meters per second, and the next 20 meters with a speed of 10 meters per second. That means one side he's crossing at 20 meters per second, second side at 10 meters per second. Okay, you have the time taken will be speed. So that is like I have speed and the distance, so that is 20 by 20 meters per second, and then the second 20 I am traveling at a speed of 10 meters per second. Okay, and this is repeating 3 times. So solving this, you can easily get your answer. So it's again another pretty easy question. So here you just need to understand this concept. Average speed is nothing but the total distance traveled, total time taken. Okay, so this is the concept that I wanted to explain. So there is a derivation of this, why it is like total distance traveled by total time taken. I don't think so it's pretty much required now to go in depth into that. Okay, now another thing that you have to understand with respect to solving these problems related to aptitudes or any topics related to aptitude is like, okay, there is no need for you to understand how a result or how a particular concept is arrived. Okay, it's very much important to understand that concept, but do not waste your time in explaining or doing it in step by step while attempting a test or solving a question in the actual exam. The reason is, the objective of these campus placement tests for you is just to clear it. So for that, what is required, you will have to use it. Sometimes you will take options, and then from options you can solve the questions. So that's pretty much possible. So that's something which you should try. So depending on the question, you must understand what logic that can be applied, and if you can apply some logic and eliminate some options and come up with the answer, you just need to. Right. Let's move on to the next question. I think this is the last question related to averages. Okay. So let's try solving this. So in an NGO, the daily average wages of 20 illiterate employees is decreased from 25 to rupees 10. So that means there is a reduction of 15. So 15 rupees, there is a reduction is there for each employee, okay, of 20 illiterate employees. And thus the average all literate and illiterate employees is high. So in both cases, in the old case and the new case, the total number of employees is the same. That is, the summation of illiterate and the literate is the same. Only thing is, the wage of the illiterate employees alone is reduced, okay, and not the educated or the literate employees, right? So how much reduction has happened? So 15 rupees reduction for each person, and there are 20 illiterate people are there. So that means there is a total of 300 rupees reduction has happened. Summation on the total number of days. Okay, or if you want to find the total number of people, you have to take the summation upon the average. Now I don't have the total wages, but I have the reduction in the wages. Okay, now do I have reduction in the average? Yes, I do have the reduction in the average. They have clearly given the average is reduced by 10. So that means the total number of employees should be equal to reduction in the average divided, sorry, reduction in the total pay divided by reduction in the average. So that means 30 has to be my total employees. I have 20 who are illiterate. So the number of educated employees or literates are 10. Okay. So when you understand the question properly and when you understand the concept properly, it becomes very easy and simple to solve. Now, the same question can be solved using traditional method as well, but that's not required. So I would say that in averages, more than 95% of the questions can be solved in using methods which are not conventional. With traditional methods, you can definitely solve if you just understand how the averages works. Okay, right? So I'm sure, I think we would have, these questions would have given you a different kind of approach towards problem solving, especially topics related to averages, right? So let's quickly move on to the next topic for the day. So that is percentages, right? So now we'll quickly cover the basics of percentages. We'll solve few questions on percentages, and then we'll move on to profit loss discounts. Now, throughout these webinars, what we are going to do is we are just going to focus on the important aspects which you might miss. Okay, right? So that is going to be our prime objective, given the limited time that is available in front of us. And there are n number of other videos are available which can explain you the complete basics, formulas, this, that, and other thing. And there are certain things which you might miss out in those videos, and that is rate here. Just areas which are pretty much required to make sure that you are mastering that particular topic. Now, percentages. Now, percent is always nothing but it is something with respect to or it's related to some base, and the base value here in percentage is centum 100. Okay, so it's per cent 1 by 100, right? So with that, we'll quickly move on to how to calculate percentages, right? So the first question that I have taken is like simple one, 77% of 64. So the normal to calculate 87 and 4. So you can definitely get the answer. But how to get this calculation very fast? It's pretty easy, right? Just listen. So I have this 77%. Okay, all that I will do is I will split this 77 into smaller parts which are easy to calculate. Okay, because for any given number, 50%, 25%, 10%, 5%, 1% of that number is pretty easy to find. For example, 64, 50% of 64 is 32, 25% of 60, half of 32, that is 1% of 64 is 0.64 because 10% is 6.4 and 2% is 1.28. Now this is 50%, this is 25%, this is 2%. Say this is 50, this is 25, and this is 2. If I add 50, 25, and 2, I get 77%. And if I add 32 and 16, I get 48. 48 plus 1.28, I get 49.28, which is my answer. That is 77% of 64 is 48. So you can easily calculate these things if you just split, the components. Do you have to split only the percentage side? No, not necessarily. You can also split the number side. Let's take this example, 82% of 150. I can rewrite this as 82% of 100 plus 50. Now the question becomes pretty simple and easy. 82% of 100 is 82. 82% of 50 is 41, and the sum. Now this much easy the percentage calculations will become if you can understand, to split the number side or the percentage side and then start calculating the percentages. Right. So is there only this method available to calculate a percentage? No, there is also different methods available. One of the other method that is pretty handy is percentage equivalent of a fraction. I've just taken a sample question to explain. Now, I beginning percent is nothing but 1 by 100, which is obviously a fraction. So that means any percentage that I have, I can express that percentage in terms of a fraction, right? For example, 100 percentage is nothing but 1 by 1, 100%. 50% is nothing but 1 by 2. Like that, I can represent every percentage in terms of a fraction. For example, 1 by 3 will be 33.33%. 1 by 5%. 1 by 5 is 20%. And it goes on, right? Like 1 by 7, 14.28. So what is important is, like, if you can understand certain conversions between percentage and fractions, some questions will become very easy to solve. For example, this particular question, it might look difficult, but I know that 66.67 percentage is nothing but 2 by 3rd if I express it in terms of fraction. So this question becomes 2/3 of 27 into 7, 11, 13. So 7, 11, 13 is 1001, 27 and 3, 9. So obviously my answer will be 9 into 2, 18. So 18 into 1001 is my answer. That is 18018. Now, if I'm not converting the 66.67 to 2 by 3, then solving this question will take some more time. So you can save a considerable amount of time if you can convert percentages to fractions, and if you can understand few basic conversions, if you can remember, that will be great. At least up to 1 by 10. Like I've told, 1 by 7 is 14. Say 1 by 8 is 12.5, 1 by 9 is 11. So at least up to 10, if you remember, that's pretty much sufficient, for clearing any kind of aptitude exams, right? So these are the two methods which you can use to solve percentages related questions. Now let's see some of the applications of percentages, right? Now, when it comes to percentage, certain terminologies that you will have to remember, because these terminologies will mean different stuffs. Now, the first one is percentage of. Now, A is some percentage. And suppose if B is 100, then A's value will be 25. Suppose if B is 100, A's value will be 25. So percentage of. Now the next term that you have to remember is percentage more or less. You have to understand this. Now A got 10% more marks than B. Suppose if B is 50, then A's mark will be, it is not 10% of 50, it is not 5, wrong. It is 10% more. It's a base. On top of it, I have 10% of 50, that is 5. So the summation is 55. This is correct. So this is percentage more. Similarly, if it is percentage less, 10% less of 50, so that is 5 less. So 50 minus 5, 45. So this is percentage more or less. Next is increase or decrease by some percent. So this is a pretty very important stuff, because this is very much used in profit loss kind of application. Now I have something called A, which is increased 25%. If that A's value was 100, okay, and I am increasing it by 25%. Now my new value becomes 125. Now by what percent I should reduce so that I can bring it back to original value? It is definitely not 25%. Okay, because it's pretty simple. Percentage, it works on some base value. So here the base value is 100, which is less. So I have 25%. I have to increase this 100 by 25% so that I get this 125. Now I have a higher base, 125. So whenever if I have to bring it back to you, that means my percentage reduction will always be less than the percentage increase that has happened. So here 10 percentage is 12.5, so 20 percentage will be 25. So 25 I have to reduce, that means 20% I have to reduce so that I can bring it back to my original value. So here again, if you remember the fraction conversion, it's pretty easy to understand. 1/4 you increase it, you bring it back by reducing it by 1/5. 1/3 if you increase, reducing 1/4. 1/2 increase, 1/3 decrease. So pretty easy, right? So this is something which you have to understand, because this increase and decrease by percentage, it play a major role in our applications, right? Next is successive percentage increase or successive percentage decrease. That is like percentage increase applied twice on top of it. Like say, for example, you have a product on which there are these discounts, e-commerce discounts going on, right? So what they first I say 25%, and then again they will reduce it by some percent, giving some cashback offers or some special day discounts. Like say if the normal discount is like 25% on 1,000 value product, so the selling price will be 750, and on that 750 some lightning deal will be there, and on that 750 there will be additional 10% discount. So additional 10% will not be applied on the original value 1,000, it will be applied on the 750. So 75 less than 750, so the new discounted price will be 675 rupees, and it will not be 650. Application of discounts on the products, right? So these are the 4 different applications of percentages. Now, using these 4 terminologies only, all your profit loss discount related questions will be formed. So if you can understand these terminologies, solving all those questions or applications of percentages will be very easy. So we will solve few applications related to percentages now, and then we'll move on and solve some problems related to profit loss and discounts, right? So we have this question, scores 25% of the maximum marks and fails by 30 marks, while another candidate who scores 50% marks gets 20 marks more than the minimum pass marks. So find the maximum marks. So I'm sure some of you would have already started working on solving this particular question. Now there are multiple ways with which you can solve this question, and when it comes to percentages or when it comes to profit loss discount related problems, one method that I recommend to use like or use the options method. Now here in this particular question, I have not given any options because I'm just going to solve it for you, right? So if the options are there, definitely for this question, I would have gone from picking up values from the options and solving it. Since the options are not there, I'm going to assume some value, okay? Now let me assume this mark as 100 maximum marks. Now scores 25% of the maximum marks. That means he scored 25 and fails by 30 marks. Now he scored only 25 marks and he has failed by 30 marks. So that means the pass mark will be 25 plus 30. So it is 55. Now another candidate who scored only 50% marks. So 50% of 100 is only 50 marks. Okay. Now the minimum pass mark already I have is 55. So that means definitely 100 is not my maximum marks. So I can eliminate this. What I can do is, let me take the next number which is easy for me to calculate. So I will take 200. Now what is 25% of 200? It is 50. Now a candidate scores 50 marks and is failed by 30 marks. So that means the pass mark is 80. right? Now the second candidate scores 50% of the maximum marks, that is he scores 100 and he is 20 marks more than the minimum pass marks. It is matching. That means my assumption is correct. So the answer for this question, the maximum marks is 200, right? So most of the questions in profit loss discount or percentage related questions, assumption method will work. Okay, I'll solve few more questions and then I can show you how this particular approach it works for majority of the questions. So due to irregular working habits of Ramachandran, his salary was reduced by 20%, but after some months, his salary was increased to the original salary. So what percentage increase in the salary of? So we have already seen. So here it's the reverse of it. So there's a 20% reduction in the salary. So if you assume that it's 1,000, okay, salary, 20% or 100, 20% reduction, it's 80. Now to bring it back again on a lower base, percentage will be higher. 1/5 you are reducing. How much you have to increase? 1/4. So it will be 25%. So the new value is 80, the old value is 100. So 20% reduction, I got 80. Now from here, I have to go back to 100. I have to increase it by 20. 20 out of 80 is 25%. So I have to increase it by 25%. So it's reverse of what example we have already seen, right? Pretty simple and easy. Now the next question is pretty interesting. So initially, Ms. Sawant has rupees 200 in her wallet and then she increased it by 20%. Once again, she increased her amount by 25%. The final value of money in her wallet will be how much percent greater than the initial amount. Okay. Now, the first value she has is 200. And then she is increasing it by 20%. This is again successive percentage increase, an application of it. So increasing it by 20%, so it will become 240. She's increasing it again by another 25%. So 25% of 240 is 60, right? So because 50% is 120, so 25% is 60. So add 60, you get 300. Now 300 is the new value, 200 is the original value. Now how much percent increased 200 to 300? It is 100 rupee increase, which is nothing but 50% of 200. So the answer is 50% increase from the initial amount. Now the successive percentage increase, you can also remember if you need. I don't recommend remembering this result, but still if you need, you can remember this result: x plus y plus xy by 100, where x is the first successive first of the successive percentage increases, y is the second increase. So here we have 20 and 25, so it will be 20 plus 25 plus 20 into 25 by 100. So if you solve it, you will get 50%, right? So I don't recommend remembering this formula or a result, whatever you call, but still if you need, you can. Right. So another question, very good question. So I think this, if you understand, you can understand the complete concepts of percentages, right? So in the Polo hospital, some patients who were suffering from the hepatitis B were admitted for the treatment, but 9% of the patients were died within half an hour. So the total number of patients admitted, out of that, 9% died within half an hour. After treatment, the percentage of patients cured out of the remaining was only 80%. So out of the remaining, the cured was only 80%. Now out of that, again, 70% of the patients were only completely cured, and the remaining 30% were partially cured. Okay, and the partially cured number is 153. Now we need to find the total number of patients, initial number of patients who were admitted. Okay, the best way to solve this question is go from reverse. Okay, so don't start assuming x as the number of patients and then reduce it by 9% and then reduce it. So don't do this method, although you can solve it by using this approach, but it will be time consuming. So just go reverse, it will be easy. Okay, so you have 153 patients. So it is like 30% of the patients were partially cured, and this 30% is nothing but 153. Okay, so if 30% is 153, okay, now how much will be the 100%? Okay, so that means if 30% is 153, then I can say that 10% will be 51. So 100% will be 510. So that means these 510 patients were there in the previous step. So previous step end, we had this 510 patients. So out of that 510, 70% completely cured, 30%, that is 153, partially cured. Okay. Now this 510 is nothing but 80% of the previous steps. Okay, so 80% if it is 510, then what will be 100%? So approximately it will be like 10% will be some 63 something, so I'll take it as 64, so it will be like 640 can be the 100% value for the previous step. So that means like previous step I had 60%. So that means after 9% of the patients were died, I have 640. So that means 91% is 640. So if 91% is 640, then 100% will be how much? So this is the number of patients who have got admitted. Okay, so again approximation if you use, you will get somewhere close to 700, because 10% is 70, 63, so you can get close to 600. This is that means 700 is the total number of patients who have been admitted to this hospital. Now, instead of going reverse, you can also go from top to bottom. So we have gone bottom to top. You can also go top to bottom, provided you have options. All that you need to do is take an option, start from beginning. Number of patients, 9% died, 91% remaining. Out of that 91%, 80% remaining. Out of that 80, then 70% completely cured, 30% is 153. Check whether you are getting 153. If you are not getting, try the next option, right? So that's another way that you can use to solve this question. So if you can understand this, like say 30% is 153, how to get 100%, and if 80% is 510, how to get 100%. If you can understand how to get these values, that means you have mastered percentages. You need not worry about anything. You will be able to solve any kind of question, right? So this is nothing but getting the cost price from the selling price and the percentage loss or the profit. Okay, so the reverse calculation from cost price increase or decrease and then getting it is easy, but when you have the selling price and you have profit percentage or the loss percentage, how to get the cost price? So that similar calculation is what we have used in this particular question. Let's move. So a man loses 10% by selling a book for 144. What should be his selling price to gain? So I told you, right? Assumption method, it will help. Like, let's see. So 144 is the selling price, 10% loss. What can be the cost price? Whether the cost price will be less than 144 or greater than 144. If it is a loss, definitely it has to be greater than 144. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume a number which is greater than 144. I will assume 150. What is 10% of 150? 15. If I reduce, I get 135, which is not my selling price. So definitely 150 that I have assumed is wrong. I will change my assumption to 160. Percentage of 160 is 16 and my selling price is 144. I get my value match. So that means the cost price is 160. Now what price I should sell so that I get 15% profit? 15% of 160, 10% 16, 5% 8, 16 plus 8, 24, 160 plus 24, 184 should be my selling price so that I get a gain of 15%, right? So assumption method, it definitely helps in solving the questions faster, right? You can definitely use your relationships to get your cost price from the selling price and the profit percentage, but it's not required of the sold at 198 each. So this is another application, same selling price and profit loss or loss percent. So two articles are sold at 198 each, such that a profit of 10% is made on the first while a loss of 10% is incurred on the other. What would be the net profit or loss on this two transactions combined? Now I have 198 rupees as the selling price and I have 10% loss in my first transaction. So my cost price will be 98. 10% is 21 rupees. Reduce it. Will I get 198? No, I will not get 198. 210 minus 21 is less than 198. So I will increase my assumption to 220. Now 220, 10% is 22. If I subtract, I get 198. So that means my cost price is 220. Okay, so that is for the item that I have sold at 198 rupees, wherein I have incurred 10%. The second I'm again selling at the wherein I have made 10% profit. Now what can be my cost price? So I will again use the assumption method. Here the cost price will be less than the selling price. I will assume it as 190 plus 10% of 190 is 19. If I add, I will get above 198. So that means definitely 190 is not my cost price. It has to be less than 190. I will assume my value was 180. 10 is 18. If I add 18 profit, so 180 is my cost price, right? So what is my combined cost price? 220 plus 180, that is 400. What is my combined selling price? 396. So my selling price is 396, cost price is 400. Am I making a profit or loss here? Obviously I'm making a loss. How much loss? 4 rupee loss I'm making out of 400. So that means 1% loss I'm making, right? The I don't recommend. Where you have this kind of a question where selling price is same and the same percentage of profit and loss in both the transactions, then you can use this relation. X by 10 the whole square will give you overall loss percentage. So in our case, it is 10 by 10 whole square, it is 1% loss. Always in such transactions, it will result in a loss. There can never be a profit. So this is another application of profit loss questions. $160, a retailer pays $122.4 for it. He gets successive discounts of 10% and another rate. So what is that another rate? That's what I have to find. So on 160, he gets 10% discount. So that is 16 rupees discount. So he gets already 144 rupees. This is the in-between value. Now on 144, he gets some value discount so that his price becomes 122.4. So obviously 10% of this value is 4. So if I use 14.4, likely this has to be somewhere close to 15%, or it might even be exactly 15%. So I've taken this example just to give you how successive discounts works. Okay, so this is how a successive discount works. So this 15% discount is applied on 144, that is the intermediate value, and not on 160, the original value, right? So the answer for this question is 15%. So that is the second discount he has got. The type of question, so when you introduce an error, obviously you get some extra profit. Okay, so a fruit vendor sells apples at a cost price. So he's not even increasing his price, he's selling it at cost price itself, because he has taken care of his profit by using some false weights. So, but he uses a false weight of 800 gram instead of 1 kg. So if someone asks for 1 kg, he doesn't give them 1 kg, he gives them only 800 grams, but he takes money equal to his cost price. Okay, that is 1 kg is cost price, not he is his profit. So that means he has 800 grams. For every 800 gram that he gives, remember, he's not giving 1 kg. He is just giving, out of the total oranges or whatever the apples he has, he just sells only 800 grams. And he takes money for 1 kg, that is 1000 grams. That 200 grams money that he takes is profit for every 800 grams that he gives, that is there with him. So that means every 8 sells out. So he is making 25% profit. Okay, please remember, the profit is not 200 grams for every 1000 grams, because he is not giving 1000 grams, he is just giving his 800 grams, because the remaining 200 grams, whatever he has saved, he can sell it to some other client. So with the 800 that he has given, he is making 200 grams profit. Okay, so that means 200 out of 800. That's just remember this relation. Now, what is error percentage he's introducing? 200 grams error, 1000 grams. So that is 20% error he is introducing. Just see the relation. Whenever he introduces 20% error, that is 1/4 error, he is milking, sorry, 1/5 error, he is getting 25%, that is 1/4 profit. So for every 1/5 error, 1/4 is profit. If the error is 25%, if the error is 1/4, then the profit will be 1/3. That is 33.3. Okay, because the percentage profit is always more than the percentage of error that is introduced. Remember, percentage of profit will be more than the percentage of error that is introduced. Right. So this is another concept that you have to remember. Okay, so now we are moving to some of the problems related to profit, loss, and discount. Okay, so I have, I think, some 3 to 4 problems related to profit, loss, discount. Okay, in this particular session, right? Pretty much profit, loss, discount, it works on the same concept of percentages. Okay, all that you need to remember is certain terminologies, like say cost price, selling price, profit, loss, discount, marked price, MRP. So all these terminologies is what you just have to remember. So anyway, with common sense, you will know that always if you have to get profit, then your cost price should be less than your selling price, and if you are incurring a loss, your selling price is less than your cost price, right? So with that pretty basic and simple concept, let's move on to the applications of it, and that's what is important. A man purchased a scooter for 20,000 and it got insured for 80% of the value, and the scooter was totally destroyed in an accident, and the insurance company compensated him for only 80% of the claim. What was the loss suffered in percentage? So this is again similar to, successive discount, right? So on 20,000, I'm insuring only for 80% value. Okay, so that means my insured value is only 16,000. Okay, my insured value is only 16,000. Now out of the 16,000, okay, the insurance company is giving me only 80% of it. Okay, they are not giving me the complete value. So 80% means I'm losing 20%. So 10% is 1,600, 20% is 3,200. So I'm getting a value of 12,800. Now this is what I finally got from the insurance company. What was my original value? 20,000. I purchased the scooter. How much loss that I have suffered? So it is like from 20,000, my value is 12,800. Okay. So the loss that I have suffered is close to 36%. Okay. Because the loss that I have suffered is 6,200. Sorry, 7,200. So it is nothing but 36%. Right. Now, the same question can be solved using the successive discount relationship that I have given. So that is 20% reduction, and then 20% reduction, and then 20 into 20 upon 100. Okay. So using this relation, you can easily get the answer. That is, I'm using the relationship of x plus y plus xy by 100. Since here it is discount, you have to take it in terms of negative, right? So pretty much you can use that formula and then you can also get your answer. So the value is 36%, right? So I think we have come to the last question. Yeah, pretty good. I think we are on time, right? So I think we have covered most of the stuffs already in profit loss discount. I did not, check that, right? So this is again a pretty interesting and a good question to end the session, right? So if I sell a TV for 3,100 and a cycle for 1,300, I gain 10%. Okay. So I'm selling a TV for 3,100 and a cycle for 1,300. So the total value selling price is 400, on which I'm getting 10% gain. Okay, right. So now this is my selling price, combined selling price, not individual selling price. So my combined cost price will be obviously 4,000 rupees, because only then I can get 10% profit. So I get 400 profit. So my combined selling price will become 4,400. Okay, now let's move on to the question. But if I sell the TV for 3,150 and the cycle for its original price, I lose 10%. Okay, if I sell the TV for 3,150 plus the cost price of the cycle, okay, I get I lose 10%. Combined cost price, I know it is 4,000. So 10% if I lose, I get this value as 3,600. Okay. Now with this, I can easily get the cost price of my cycle, which is correct. It is 3,600 minus 3,150, which is 450 rupees. Okay. Now, once I get this value, I can easily get the cost price of the TV, right? So this is another pretty simple question, but it requires a little bit of understanding, right? So I think with this, we have covered almost different applications that are related to the concepts that we have seen, averages and percentages and profit loss discount. I think we have covered almost all different varieties of questions that can in the okay, right? From these, if you want to practice many questions, additional questions, you can always go to our platform and then you can practice other questions related to these topics, right? Now, aptitude, if you want to build any skill, you have to practice it yourself. Okay? If you want to learn swimming, attending these webinars and theory sessions alone is not going to help. You have to go and practice. So if you have to swim, you have to go and practice swimming. Only then you acquire that skill. Similarly, problem solving, practice by solving as many questions as possible. Okay, so the questions that we have solved is just a sample, but we have covered different varieties of questions, and this is not enough. You have to take this learning forward, move to another platform, okay, test platform, and then start taking the tests. So only by practicing a lot of tests you will be able to acquire this particular skill. So I just want to touch upon come up with a program called Prepare this year with a different concept, because we found over the years that the student lack structured practice. Now what we thought is like, we will pitch in and then we will give that structured practice for the students. So what we have done is we have designed a course which has got 2 topic-wise coding tests every week we will open, because programming skill set again is very important if you have to crack campus interviews of IT companies. And we will also open 5 aptitude topic-wise tests. These tests will be of very small duration, like say 20 minutes, 30 minutes duration, to help you particular topic or master that particular topic. And all these questions are graded. We will start with level 1 difficulty and then we will move with level 2 and level 3 difficulty level. So every week 2 new topics in aptitude, coding, programming concepts, and 5 new topics in aptitude will be opened, and you can start practicing it. So the schedule is already available in our portal, wherein you can download the schedule and then you can follow our schedule so that you get a structured practice for your placements. Not just that, we also give 1 bi-weekly test to revise your concepts in both coding and aptitude, and there is going to be a 1 monthly full-length test, again covering all the topics that we have seen in that particular month, and there's going to be a monthly once coding contest. Now this structured practice for the next 20 weeks, it can help you to crack any kind of placement tests when you sit for the placements in the next semester. On top of all this basic practice, once it is over, we will be giving you the exact company specific test with the pattern and the questions matching the company's recruitment test. That can actually help you a lot clearing the actual placement test. So once you have these basic stuffs ready and prepared, then you can practice the company specific test for strategizing your test taking approach, so that you get the placements once you complete, once you are there in your 8th semester, right? Now this particular course, the premium course that we offer, Prepare with Placement Season, it costs 2,000 rupees. And for people who are attending this webinar, you can use this coupon code and get 50% discount. Add the product to the cart and during checkout, use the coupon code I want to practice more, % discount on this premium package, Prepare with Placement Season 2019 batch. This is especially for the current pre-final year engineering students. If you are in final year, we would recommend you to focus on company specific tests and pass on this information to your juniors so that they get benefited out of this course, right? So is there only premium or paid package available with us which you can use it for preparation? No, absolutely no. All these training sessions that we offer will be free for anyone to participate, and it will be available, again, anyone can watch it without paying any money. Now all these videos will be available in our preparatory portal, that is prep.placementseason.com. So you can go there, not just this video, we have lots of contents related to aptitude and the company's test patterns updated there in that portal. So you can use that portal and make sure that you are informed about the recruitment trends. If you want to learn everything on the go, we have the mobile app, so which you can download it at this link, po.st/placement-season, or go to the Android Play Store, Google Play Store, and just you get the mobile app. So wherein in the mobile app you have access to our internship portal, where you can apply for internships in various companies, and you have access to our preparatory portal, wherein you get all the materials, videos that we upload. You can have it in your mobile and you can learn whenever you want. And you will also have an access to our discussion forum in the mobile app, wherein you can post your questions and our experts will answer it. And not just our experts, even the community members, other students will answer it. So use our free resources. That's more than sufficient to prepare for placements. Along with this, if you want free mock test series happening on every Sundays. Every Sunday, one company's test, we offer it for free. Coming Sunday, we are giving Amazon mock test for free. So there's a separate schedule available for the free mock test. You can attend those company tests to know about the company's actual recruitment pattern. So you can use the Sunday free mock test to understand companies' test patterns. You can use our preparatory portal prep.placementseason.com to learn aptitude concepts and to understand various other companies' test patterns. Can we yourself in your problem solving ability? Plus, once you have done all these homeworks, if you want to have some internship options during your third year semester break, summer break, you can log into internship portal internship.placementseason.com and register yourself, upload your resume, apply for companies that are looking for interns, so that you get some practical exposure before you get to sit for your actual placements. So these are some of the free resources that we offer with Placement Season, which is pretty much a complete solution for your placement preparations, right? So I'm sure you will pass on this information to your friends and your colleagues, so that everyone gets benefited out of this, service that we are offering. Right. So it's time to say thank you for your participation. Right. So we are active in WhatsApp. So you can send all your queries. This is our WhatsApp number, 9894431119. So you can note down this number. And also you can note down this email ID, friends@placementseason.com. So wherein you can send your queries, download our mobile app, that these two things to contact us. Just go to the discussion forum and post your queries. Okay, our experts will answer that. Right. So I thought of taking some of your questions and then answering that. But anyway, we don't have much time left now. It's already 9:15, 9:20. So I planned for an hour session. So we have already crossed the time limit. But that's fine. You can post, if you have any queries, you can post it in the comment section. We will definitely reply back to that comment. Okay. So if you have any queries, please post it on the comment section, or you can WhatsApp it to our number, or you can send a query is big enough. So you can even type an email and send it to us. Right. So we'll meet again in the next session. Okay. So it will be scheduled sometime in the next week, maybe Wednesday or even before, because we have one topic that we planned for today, simple interest, compound interest, which we couldn't do it today. So we'll be taking that topic in our next session. So that's another pretty interesting topic on simple interest, compound interest. So that's going to be our next session. So keep watching our emails and our Facebook page. You will get the information session is going to happen. It will definitely next week. Okay. And another information for all those students who are passed out of 2017 batch, TCS is conducting an off-campus drive on January 31st. Okay. And we have the updated tests of TCS available in our portal. and you can use another coupon code crack TCS and get 50% discount on all the TCS tests that are available with us. So I think you can pass on this information to your 2017 batch pass out students, your seniors, so that they can get benefited out of the test, right? So that the TCS test when they go for the actual test. Right. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot for staying with us till late. And I think it's a pretty good participation that gives us more encouragement to do more such sessions. So looking forward to meet you on the next session like this. Thank you and good night.